confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Davis now to return it. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that they spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes third and the length of the football. From the 50, here's Herbert. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Shaking his head after that when they had the play call they wanted.
I'm shaking my head as well. Tight end in this spot, that's a primary chance for him to catch the ball and make a big play, and he didn't get it done.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a good couple of yards as they get 3 there on 4th and inches. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. On first down, it's Herbert. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jabril Cox charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Now a deep one for Johnston. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Kevontae Turpin deep for the Cowboys. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
7-7, our score after 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Prescott, he's going to change things up here. Here we go on 2nd and 12. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play. It forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know that this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season they could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Herbert on 1st down now. Looking Austin Eckler's way again. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The Chargers had 2 and 2 through the first 4 weeks of the season, and they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year, but when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it, and that's what they're trying to get done here.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 25 yards that time.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post-route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively. They're on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A give to Pollard running left. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Short yardage. Prescott able to find the open man. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To the air again, Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Charger drive about to get going. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Powerful running. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 49. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. Here's Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here's Herbert now on second down. It's wheeled in downfield by Johnston. Touchdown, LA! Quentin Johnston, 54 yards. And the Chargers are able to stretch out their lead. Dicker now to tack on the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Second down, Pollard again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
46. There's a 47.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
2nd and 5. Herbert off of play action. His throw complete right side to the tight end Parham. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. It's Eckler again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 9. Up the middle with Eckler. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. They'll run here with Spiller. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Touchdown! Isaiah Spiller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Cowboys.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Here's Darius Davis on the return. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Herbert. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he let his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
Now Dak, he wants to change the play. On second down, it's Pollard. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the 5 now, second and a yard. Pollard will take it up the gut. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Dallas. That option pitch we saw, we don't witness a ton of that in the NFL, but it worked there down near the goal line for a score.
And it's actually a great call in goal line situations because as more and more quarterbacks enter the league with that mobility and having run option in college, more pro teams are adding it to their arsenal. And now it's not just, does the quarterback run it? Does he pitch it? Now they've added that third element. He can rise up and throw the ball as well.
The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now this one is tight end out on the right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Draw play, it's Eckler. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. A couple of touchdown passes, almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well that I think Lady Luck was on his side.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Wide open, complete. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So obviously obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
47. Hey, kill. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, kill. 47.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Now Prescott going to change the play. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cowboys have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Charger drive about to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 10. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. This is 1st and 10.
Here go 46. 26.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. To throw, Prescott. That is caught, Schoonmaker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Prescott. He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Dak. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
Well, to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys this first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Here's first down. Now Prescott. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Let's go 47. We're going to 54. 47. Done. Under.
Here's Dak. His throw incomplete. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
Kill. At 47.
Here's Prescott. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Kill. Here we go 46. Here we go 53. Here we go 46. Here we go 47. Here we go kill.
4th down, Prescott. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Chargers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. This was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Chargers, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year.
I can't fade away. Baby, I've been too turned, I don't care about what a hater say. Dark skin, thick, I like the so I named the bae. I'm in it every day. New drip, I just spent some G's on my attire. These ratchets keep on growing, but my jeans getting tighter. I went overseas with the swiper. Bad, no, like her. I bought for my snipers. Any sun moving, make it sing like the choir. Be that got Lindsay Lohan. I need some more bands. I'm a grown man.
I ain't tripping, this is easy. Got them excited to meet me. I got diamonds, you got CZs.